Bhakti Tirtha Swami, we say Krishna Hare, Guru KRSNA, BHAGAVATAM, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisai Vitale Samati, Bhakti Vedanta Swami, we say Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pucharini, Neri Vishesa Sinya Vajika Sata Desatari. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiyat Nashtapraye Savadriso Nitam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Salute Bhakti Bhavati Naishigini Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Adhyana Timirandasya Dhyananjana Salakaya Takshulunnisanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manu Dishtam Satitangena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadatisa Padantikam Vandiham Sri Gurun Sita Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devan Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaskute Taprakantana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Shruti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpataru Jascha Vita Sandhya Vacha Patitanam Pavaniyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sikantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18. This terrestrial fit home. Text number 40. Karanadara ivapare Bhagavan Paradara Sakha Atabhas Bhagavan Naradu Munisatama Karanadhara ivapare Bhagavan Paradara Sakha Atabhas Bhagavan Naradu Munisatama Karanadhara ivapare Bhagavan Paradara Sakha Atabhasi Bhagavan Naradu Munisatama. Word for word translation. Karanadhara, captain of the ship. Eva, light. appare in the extensive oceans. Bhagavan, the representative of the Lord, Para Darasaka, one who can give directions to the other side. Ata, thus, Abba began to say, Bhagavan, a godly personality, Narada, a great sage Narada, Munisat Tamahan, the greatest among the devotee philosophers. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His Founder, Acharya Jagat Guru, Sri Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. You are like a captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed, a godly personality, Devarishi Narada, greatest of the philosopher devotees, began to speak. Purport. There are different types of philosophers, and the greatest of all of them are those who have seen the personality of Godhead and have surrendered themselves in a transcendental loving service of the Lord. Among all such pure devotees of the Lord, Devarishi Narada is the chief, and therefore he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosopher devotees. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be a learned philosopher devotee. One must be very faithful, learned, and renounced. Otherwise, one cannot be a pure devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord can give us direction towards the other end of nations. The Devarishi Narada used to visit the palace of Maharaj Yudhishthira because the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord. And the Devarishi was always ready to give them good counsel whenever needed. That's in the Bhaktivedanta purport to text 40 of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, Canto 1, Chapter 18, entitled Distrastra Quick Home. Lord Muni is described here as KRSNA HARE. He is a captain not just of the mundane ship which we have experience of in this material world, but in general, the duty of a captain is to move the ship from one shore to the next shore. Karadhara, Iva Apare. The ocean of material existence is very extensive. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, it is you who knows how to take us to the other side. It is you who knows this. So you are the one who is able to take us from this side to the other side. Why the money is this kind of a person? Why is he this kind of a person? Bhagwan para darasaka. Adumuni is what? Bhagwan para darasaka. He is the bona fide representative of Krishna, the Supreme Persecutor. Ata Baba said Bhagwan. He is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he knows how to give the direction to go to the other side. In other words, a bona fide spiritual master. How do you know a bona fide spiritual master? A bona fide representative of Krishna. It is not one who facilitates our sanctification. It is not one who keeps us in darkness, in ignorance. There are varieties of philosophers. There are varieties of philosophers, those who are speaking the scriptures. But it is not all of them knows the ultimate conclusion of the scriptures. Not all of them. Majority of them are speculators. Actually, they are very, very close to keep conditions force in material existence. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is the greatest philosopher at that time. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to him for 7 good days. He didn't say a word. Neither was he dozing or sleeping or inattentive. He was perfectly attentive, and he listened very attentively, very carefully to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, but he didn't say a single word. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is a very experienced person. So he asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have listened to me for 7 good days, and you have not said a single thing. Neither did I see you sleeping. That means you are hearing. Therefore, I can say that there are 2 things I would like to know from you. One, you don't understand the subject matter which I'm discussing. Or 2, you are such a fool that you don't understand anything I'm talking about. There are 2 things. Which one? You are a big fool that you can't understand a single thing I'm talking about, or you don't have any interest in what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't have interest also. You don't have any single interest. So which of them you belong to? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are a great philosopher. Indeed, you are a great teacher of the philosophy. You know the philosophy. But my surprise is that Srila Vyasadeva is a perfect philosopher, and his teachings are perfect. In fact, what Srila Vyasadeva presented is like a midday sun, very bright. And therefore, it is easy for any person to understand. My surprise is that you are deliberately trying for 6 days to cover the shining sun of Vyasadeva. What is your interest in this? So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was shocked. He was shocked because he was not expecting we're not expecting this from a small boy whom he sees to be inexperienced. He showed Chitama to be inexperienced as Sanyasi, so young, and he's so attracted that will not be able to maintain this ashram. But he was shocked to hear that the person whom he thinks is a small boy proved to him that he is not such a small boy at the time. That Chidama, who said you are deliberately trying for the 6 days to cover the shining sun of the Danta Sutra of Srajasana. What is your interest in doing this? The brothers, is easy for me to understand, but the explanation you are giving is really demonic. It's a dense darkness to cover the sun. Do you have the power to do that? So that is the difference between other philosophers and Narada Muni. And here, Yudhishthira Maharaj approached him. He described him here, you are like a captain of a ship in the great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. This is the qualification of the command. You can direct us to our destination. Because you have the qualification, you are not deluded. You are under the divine energy of Krishna. That I can see in you. Therefore, you should speak. And he also described that Muni, Naradu Muni Satma. Narada Satma. You are the greatest among the devotee philosophers, the best of the philosophers, because you can take us from this side to the other side. And then in the purpose, Prabhupada said, unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, Narada Muni had the philosophy, had the training from a bona fide source. He is bona fide because he represents, he received the knowledge from a bona fide representative of Krishna, his own father, Brahma. Then, because he is so powerful, how do you know a touchstone? A touchstone will turn everything it touches into gold. Narada Muni Satama. Narada Muni is a touchstone. So, the fortunate Yudhishthira Maharaj selected him with all the qualifications he had to take us across the dark ocean, which is so dense and unsurpassable. On our own, we cannot surpass this ocean. But with the help of a captain who knows the journey, who knows how to fly the ship and be able to take us across. Yeah. Unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher. How? By hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master. One cannot be a learned philosopher devotee. It's a qualification. Our potency is parampara. That's the potency. Anyone who is not in the parampara does not have potency. They cannot take anyone. Not even talking about someone. The person himself or herself cannot take himself across the ocean. What about others? But we have so many philosophers in this world, especially at this present moment, who are taking people to hell. Yudhishthira Maharaj is very fortunate that he selected a captain who would take him to the desired destination. The supreme destination. The supreme destination. And the qualifications are here. One must be very faithful. Yes. One must be very faithful. He must be learned and renounced. Otherwise, one cannot be a pure devotee. One must be faithful. He must be renounced. And he should be learned. This is a qualification. In the previous chapters of the same content, the Prabhupada mentioned in one of the purpose that a representative of Vyasadeva must be well acquainted with all the scriptures. Must be well acquainted with all the scriptures. A representative of Vyasadeva must be well acquainted with. Like Sutra Goswami, who knows all the Puranas. He knows all the Puranas. Therefore, he can present the philosophy in a very pure state and will be ready to answer all questions. That is the qualification of a bona fide representative. So yes, he must be ready to answer all questions which are put before him. If one is not well acquainted with all the scriptures, that was the qualification. And the sages and Amisarians saw in Sutra Goswami that they requested him, they selected him to come and speak. Sutra Goswami was not the eldest Vedantis in that assembly. He wasn't. There are Kulapanis in that assembly. Kulapani is a Bharadwaj. He was there in assembly. Sona Karisi, the MC, the moderator, he's also a Kulapani. They have 60,000 disciples who are sages. Say Kulapani. At that time, Sutra Goswami does not have 60,000 sages, but he was selected to speak. Why? The sages told him, you will know all the scriptures that other Vedantis knows. Only you. All the six philosophers, they know their particular philosophy, but you knows all the six philosophies. And you have gotten blessing from all of them because you are what? You are very gentle and submissive. The same thing Prabhupada said. One must be very, very faithful, must be learned and renounced. To get the qualification to be able to represent our acharyas. It is not just by knowing the philosophy. It is different. It is not just that Nadamuni knows the philosophy. Nadamuni knows the philosophy, he knows how to present it because he has the quality, he has the blessings. If we can put it in such a way that it will enter into the heart of the audience. The qualification to speak. Sutra Goswami himself, he glorified his own spiritual master, Sukadeva Goswami. Let me offer my respectful obeisance unto that powerful son of Vyasadeva, the Sukadeva Goswami, who is the spiritual master of the whole world because he knows how to enter into the heart of the audience. Sukadeva Goswami knows how to enter the heart of the audience. Not that he had divided himself and become Paramatma, like Krishna, in the heart of the audience. No, he knows his word is so powerful, so pure, that when he speaks, it will go direct to the heart. It will not address the intellect alone. It will address the heart, purifies the heart. That is the potency of a bona fide representative. And that is the ceremony has been accepted here to represent. A pure devotee of the Lord can give us direct direction towards the order aim of nations. What is that? Narada Muni used to visit the palace of Maharaj Yudhishthira because the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord. And the Devarisi was also ready to give them good counsel whenever needed. And the Muni, we know, he is Nara Das. He is Nara Das. The servant of Narayana, who has the potency to distribute Narayan. That is Narada. And look at his life. He's a touchstone. Look at the quality of Narada Muni's disciples. Look at his disciples, Narada Muni's disciples. Vyasadeva, number one. Look at the quality of Vyasadeva. It's a touchstone. And look at Dhruva Maharaj. Look at Prahlad Maharaj. just see the disciples of Narada. They are all exalted pure devotees. All of them exalted pure devotees. Maharaj Prachina Barhisat. Immediately Narada Muni spoke to him. He was able to give up the same application and went to the forest to start practicing bhakti. Instantly. That is Narada Muni. And because he's Naradas, the servant of Narayan, who distribute Narayan. Narada Muni carried Narayan everywhere. Narayan, everywhere. He distributes Narayan because that is what he has. He said here that one must be renounced. Narada Muni completely renounced, free as air to travel anywhere and distribute Narayan to whoever is qualified or not qualified. Narada Muni can make unqualified person become qualified. In his incarnation as in Chaitanya Lila, because Gauranga Mahaprabhu is coming in a few days. So it was get ready. In his incarnation that in Gauranga Lila is Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit. What pastime did not happen in Srivas Pandit's house? What pastime didn't happen there? Everything happened there, everything. One day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Srivas Pandit, "Hey Srivas, can you tell me something about who is Advaita Acharya? Can you tell me something about my Nara? My Nara. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called. Can you tell me something about my Nara? My Nara. Nara is Advaita Acharya. Please tell me something about my Nara." Srivas Pandit said, "Oh, Advaita Acharya, I think you like Sukadeva Goswami. You like a lot." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very angry. He took a cane, want to beat Srivas. What do you say about my Nara? Did you say he is Sukadeva Goswami Prahlad Maharaj are the sons of Nara? Immediately, Advaita Acharya got up and held Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is good that you are training him. You are training him. but they don't need to beat him. And citizens have decided to talk to Srivas. You know, Advaita Acharya is Lord Narayan. He is the one whose command Indra obeys, or the demigod obeys. That is, so he is Jiva. Don't say he is like Sukadeva Goswami, or he's like Prahlad. If you say like this tomorrow, everybody will start speaking like that. Everybody will be offensive. Everybody will say, because you are a pundit, and people will follow you. So you should know it that my Nara is the supreme person. He brought me here. His order I must obey. That is the position. So my Nara is greater. So Shiva said, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, my Lord. From today onward, now you have revealed the position of Advaita Acharya. I will never make the mistake again. Thank you very much. Thank you. We are very happy. This is a past tense. It's a past tense. Narada Muni, in the form of Srivas, the form of Chaitanya. And then, when Chaitanya was having his kirtan, was having a big kirtan in the house of Srivas, heavy kirtan. The Tyagi came there and begged Srivas, please, my Lord, please, my dear, give me your mercy. Give me your mercy. Without the mercy of a devotee, one cannot become a. Please give me your mercy. Can you give me permission to? I know Chaitanya would never like any person, ordinary people like me, to come and witness his dancing and his kirtan. Can you please give me this mercy? Srivas is very, very, very kind, very merciful. Devotee, we mentioned before, there is a touchstone. He liked to turn everything in contact with him into gold. So Srivas Pandit, yeah, yes. So you should come before the kirtan begins. So the Tyagi came, and Srivas used a basket to cover him up there. So he stayed there. From there, the basket has holes. So from there, you can see the kirtan of the Lord. Then you can also see the Lord dancing. And in this way, he will become delivered. The Tyagi was hiding there. And Siddhartha Mahaprabhu and the other devotees, they came and they started having the kirtan. They're having the kirtan. Not up to 5 minutes, Siddhartha will stop the kirtan and say, Srivas, why am I not feeling the bliss like before? Today I'm not feeling the bliss that I usually feel in my kirtan. No bliss. What is causing this? What is causing this? What is causing this? Srivas and they say, oh my Lord, there is no problem. Please let the kirtan continue. Continue, there's no problem. Let's dance. She started the kirtan again. Not to the 5 minutes, so it says, Srivas, there is something wrong. The kirtan is not sweet, no bliss today. There's no bliss. What is the ras? Kirtan ras. What is Kirtan ras? Kirtan ras. That's their son's name? Kirtan ras?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
What is kirtan ras? There is no rasa in the kirtan today. Something has gone wrong. What is it? And Chaitanya cannot continue the kirtan again because you say there is something wrong. Unless that is discovered, the kirtan cannot continue because there is no rasa. If there is no rasa, it is what? If there is no rasa, then it is speculation. This gambling. You know, kirtan. Kirtan must have rasa. It is kirtan of the holy name. There must be rasa. Because you cannot see someone licking honey and spit. Have you seen someone licking honey and spitting before? You lick honey. You keep licking your tongue. Even when the honey is swallowed, you keep licking your tongue, your lips. Be looking at it because some remnant will be there. That is Kirtan. It must be Ras. Then SRIMAD said, my Lord. So he removed the basket and said, here is a devotee, he has intense desire to participate, just to see their Kirtan. And therefore he has come here. Sri said, look at him. So you would think that one can attain Kirtan Ras, one can stand Krishna praying by drinking one cup of milk and fasting like this. You think that is the process to get bread? You get up from here. Don't be a contamination for Kirtan Ras. The Ras continue to exist. And Ityagi was very humble and he left. But because he had the association and permission of Srivas Pandit, because he had the permission, he had the association of Srivas. Srivas called him back, bring him back, call him back. And he came back and Srivas embraced him and gave him the Rahas, the Krishna prayer that he wanted. Without the qualification, but because of the mercy, the costless mercy and association of Srivas. And it is in association that one would develop wonderful quality. Wonderful qualities are acquired by association. So by association with Srivas, so in Narada, the Satama, the base of the philosopher, the base of the devotees, Sritama gave him Krishna faith. And he was able to participate now in the Kirtan, and the momentum continued to expand. Who have the power to describe the bliss of being celebrated in the house of Srivas? That is where Narada Muni is here to take us to. Narada Muni is here to take us to that bliss. He was had been distributing tirelessly in Krishna Lila, in Chaitanya Lila. He is distributing this tirelessly. In this way, he's inviting us to join him. So he can take us. He is here to take us to that end. He is a captain to take us to that end. Therefore, it will take shelter for Narada Muni through his representatives, and we will get there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Well, it's so beautiful and it's so wonderful to see you and to hear you speak also. Well, devotees, at this point, whoever has a question may ask. Okay, Shri Prema Sampita Prabhu, please unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Papa.
Happy to see you.
Happy to see you too much.
How is Kirtan going on there?
We are trying to make it the best way you taught us.
Please keep it on. Keep it on.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for the wonderful class. So, from the lecture that you gave, I want to ask, how can a devotee, since we are representative of Sri Guru, how can we improve our Nam Seva to please Sri Guru, so that bliss or anyone passing by who hear the holy name, they will be touched? Very good.
Yes, thank you for a question. Trying to improve. It depends on constantly hearing the glories of the holy name. We should keep hearing the glories of the holy name. One becomes attracted to something through the adverts. So if the glories of the holy name is constantly promoted, and that is our duty. That is our duty as devotees. And the Holy duty is to constantly promote the glories of the holy name. Then people will become attracted. So they have to build our appetite for this. We have to hear it. We already mentioned that wonderful qualities are developed through association. So if you associate the holy name, if you associate with the holy name, by associating with those who have the holy name and hear from them, we will get to that. The harmony has come to take us to that end. So we should hear Narada Muni. So hear Narada Muni means to hear from Narada Muni representative. Constantly. All the scriptures confirm that. All the scriptures confirm that. Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Vedas, all confirm. All our charity, they confirm that. So to have the Kirtan feast, Christian festival, Kirtan Mela, it should be promoted. That is how we will develop the taste. That is how we will also increase our desire. That is how we will also enter in that question. That is the invitation. That is the invitation to enter. When Sukadeva Goswami came out from his mother's womb and he left the forest, Srila Jayasadeva has to send and his disciples to search for Sukadeva Goswami in the forest. When they saw him in the forest, they started chanting the slokas that Jayasadeva gave to them. He was chanting the slokas. As Sukadeva was sharing the sloka, he started watching where is this coming from? And then the mantra has a power, the potency. And when he became attracted to that, and then he was looking for them, they started moving. They kept moving, and he was falling until they brought him to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva had to give him the whole Bhagavatam. So this is the process. Constant hearing will give us that qualification, that attraction that will lead you to become absorbed in Kirtan and get perfected. Constantly hearing. So not be advertised. Sukadeva Goswami was dragged from the forest to come to Sanyapras, where he had the Bhagavatam. So, but in the Sanyapras is the first place Bhagavatam was recited. Jayasadeva, he recited Bhagavatam here, and he brought his Sukadeva Goswami here. It is here in Sanyapras, and he gave Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami, and he asked him to expand it. And he expanded it to what we have now. So that is a process to increase. So here. All right?
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I appreciate
Hare
it.
Krishna, thank you, Maharaj. Kusha Prabhu, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my obeisances. My question is on the, can you hear me please?
Yes, we can hear you.
My question is on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not feeling Kirtan Ras.
Yes.
So one may ask, what is the benefit of a devotee who feels Kirtan Ras? That's first question. Then second question is, years of being a devotee, have we actually felt Kirtan Ras in our lives in devotional service? If we do, what is the physical benefit of it to the world in our situation? Or have we not felt any Kitan Ras in our lives? Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, you have not felt Krishna Ras?
Yes, I want to understand, because when I look at activities of devotees, we are very offensive. We are not preaching and making devotees. So one can conclude nobody ever feel any Kitan Ras.
Yes.
Because Prabhupada say when we dance in ecstasy, sinful activities fly away from our bodies. We compare devotees. So what is the effect of that Kitan Ras?
Yes, from you already answered the question that some of us are not getting the ras in the kirtan. So that means that we are not doing the kirtan. That is why we are still empty. Because if we're having the kirtan, the ras, and why kirtan we didn't feel, because there's some contamination. What was that? Anarthas, offenses. So the greatest thing that a devotee is always, a devotee must be very careful of is narratives and offenses. And like you said, from my experience, this is what most of us are doing. That is what most of us are doing. And that is why we are blocked from the rasa. It's not coming. And so what Goswami answered in the second count of the water. One's heart is still framed. One's heart is still, iron still framed. Why? If one is chanting and there is no rasa, one is not feeling anything, that means that it is offenses. And Chaitanya Chaitanya confirmed that. Only offenses can make one to chant the holy name and not having or develop this offenses. So it means that we are some of us are very offensive. And because of that offensive, there is no rasa. Therefore, I will suggest that, this is my suggestion, that it is better for us to give attention to our job instead of just sitting down to complain. Complain will never solve any problem. Actually, it is meant for lazy people. Let us just have conference or discussions on seminar how to absorb ourselves in chanting and hearing. So like Shamara has repeatedly mentioned, let us go to this spirit and the spirit. Why is he saying that? What is he saying that? Because if we are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, we will not have time to see your fault. I won't have time to see your fault. We won't have time to see your fault. But we are not doing that. We're sitting down and be looking at each other and looking all the faults. We will remain like this forever, which is not correct. That is not the people who wants to come to Krishna. Let us be engaged in devotional service. We will not have time to look at. We don't have time to look at what you are doing, what I'm doing. You know that we're not going to see the fault. We're only going to see what we have come here for, devotional service. One experience Christian. He's a Christian. Very experienced. They were having a problem in a community like they're having. And it was so very, very tense, very serious. Everybody would think, this is serious problem. It's just like they have a serious problem. So, because they are very, very fortunate and they are not very offensive like most of us are doing, they are not very offensive like most of us are. Therefore, they have the fortune to approach one of them And he said, they asked him, Master, it is obvious that we have problems. And looking all directions, we don't know who's among us here. What is the solution to? How are we going to find the solution? How are we going to find the solution? How do you get up with the problems? The man said, the Lord has already made arrangements for the problems we are passing through. And you know, there is one person among us here. There is one person among us here whom Christians have been deputized to handle this problem. He is among us here. Does anyone know that person? Everybody said no. But the man said, but he's here with us. I myself, I don't know, but somehow or other, I know that somebody had been sent here. It is true that Christian never leaves anyone alone. Christian never leaves us alone. Christian never leaves anyone alone. There's no one who is alone. The solution is here. And Christians have done that arrangement already. Therefore, since we don't know who is that person, I will request all of us to please stop making offenses to anybody because you don't know the person. Because we may be making offenses to that person whom Christians have sent to help. So since we don't know that person, it is better for us, all of us, to be very careful from now onward, not to be offensive to anyone, and you will see that that person will manifest. Sure, you know, they follow the advice and a good solution to the problem. Does it make sense for you?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he said the Kirtan he was not feeling right because he chased away the person, and later he called him back and forgave him.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring it to our level. Like when we make somebody or when somebody leave the movement, we that have fed Kirtan Ras, can we call the person back and forgive the person any offense the person might have committed, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited?
When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him away, you know what happened? The man was feeling sorry. I have gone to disturb the Lord and his devotees. I'm very sorry for what I have done. He was feeling like this. He was not feeling, why did he send me away? He's a supreme Lord. They say he's the best avatar. What is the best avatar here? I came here to associate with it. What did I do wrong? He sent me away. How is that the Mahabharata avatar? How is that? The person was not thinking like this. He was very, very sorry and was feeling repentant. He was very sorry. The Lord is a super soul in the heart. He's a super soul. He knew that this person repented and he accepted that, oh, I have done something wrong. The Lord called him back. If we have not repented, if you have not seen that we have done something wrong, if you are called back, we are going to continue with that impudence. We will not make advancements. In fact, we will destroy ourselves. So we should first of all realize I have done something wrong. We have done something wrong and repent, genuinely repent from it. Then we'll see the miracle to come happen in our life, like he did for this person. It is dangerous if the person have not repented. If you call the person back, it's very dangerous to that person. We have not helped the person by just calling the person because you want to show mercy. That is not the process of mercy. The process of mercy is that as you repent, as you admit I have done something wrong, and then the miracle will take place.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. We have 3 hands up, but Maharaj, I just want to chip in one quick observation. We're talking about kirtan, and specifically in Ghana, because I've been watching a couple of Harinam Kirtan videos from Ghana. And please forgive me, but I'm trying to be frank here. I'm sorry to say, the way I see lots of the devotees play characters is quite unfortunate, because the way we've been taught how to play characters, chan, 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 you hardly hear that anymore. So I don't know if there is a way some senior devotees can see that and help correct it so it does not become the standard. I believe that might also help. That's just my observation.
Yes, your observation is correct. And it is part of the thing that now we don't have the rasa in the treatment, because this is a joke now. And I know it's part of the offenses which I used to make, particularly in Lagos temple here. I'm hearing any person, I will come and tell you to stop. I've done that many times. Okay. To stop. Tell the person stop. You have to play. You have to allow those who know how to make it play. I have done that many times, even recently. But I did it just to set a standard. And I told the devotees, and the devotees who are very experienced in playing characters, we have visitors who are playing characters and they are not following our standard. One of the devotees in the temple there should support that, so they can play nicely. This is the standard. Sorry to say, I said.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you.
This is how it's supposed to be. We should have the ears and know what is good and try to maintain it. Because this is one of the offenses which we cannot avoid tonight. If we want to put things in order, there are certain offenses which we cannot avoid. Like correcting someone who does not know how to play characters and just take things to play. No. We should know that everything is an offering to Krishna. So we should offer something which will be pleasurable to the person we are offering. In everything we do in Christian consciousness is offering. It should be understood. And when that is done properly, then we can get the blessing, we get the rasa in what we do. Because Christians enjoy it, we also will enjoy it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Shri Kavi, please unmute. Kavi Kanapur Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Yes, Maharaj, it's just regarding your lecture, very wonderful lecture, Maharaj. Thank you for having me again. My question is based on what you said about how Maharaj said that we should, if you are busy preaching or distributing books, we will not see fault, or we will not discover the fault around us or whatever. So me, I was just thinking in my material mind, because we are conditioned so, and just like you rightly said, we're used to seeing faults. So I was just thinking in my mind that what is the use if my house is dirty and I go outside to tell other people to clean their own houses? I go outside to tell other people to clean their own houses, and still I come back to that my house. Where as a human being, I will still feel the dirt around my house, and I will not be fully happy that I'm telling others to clean their houses and my own house is still dirty. So I don't know how you can explain this to me, how this can simultaneously be done, because we are not I'm not transcendental, and we can see although we should not be seeing fault, but there are some things that are disturbing also sometimes that we find around us, that put some people off. So I don't know whether if we can put more light on this. All right. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Thank you for the question. The thing is that if we do the right thing, they require purification that people help us to see what we individually need to rectify in our lives. Even without you pointing it to me. If we start doing the right thing, we will get the required purification to be able to realize that and start working on it. Because if you do the right thing, you get good purification. If there's not purification in what you do, then you will not be able to. There's no need for us to do that. But because what the services in Krishna consciousness, our dedication to Krishna is so potent, so powerful. By engaging in that, we'll get the required purification that will help you to see the thing we need to get rectified in our life. And then we'll be working on that. Then we will get rectified. But if we don't do that and we simply sit down to point the hand, we'll point hand to eternity and nothing will work. We are seeing that. Better for us to do something that will help us to get purified and see what we need to do and start working on that. If I see something wrong with me, I work on it. But if you come and point hand, my ego will not allow me to accept it. Oh, who are you to tell me all this thing? What about yourself? Don't you have more than me? But if I see that myself, by purification, if I see that myself, you don't have to tell me. And if you tell me, I was, oh, thank you, Prabhu, I'm very happy you tell me this. But if that purification, what they tell you, oh, don't look at this, don't look at him. Yeah, full of false ego. I don't know that because I have the ego. That is why our ego is flashing. I won't be able to have the potency to see that. So we end up increasing our nagging each other mentality. We continue to increase that. We will not get the headway. So better we get engaged in Christian consciousness. So we get the application that will help us to see the thing we need to get rectified and start working on it. And when we get that right, it will also work on us. Otherwise, it will continue like this. This is my little contribution.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. Yadunath Prabhu, no problem. Just unmute and go ahead to speak.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev, thank you so very much for the lecture. I want to thank you more for the answer to Prabhu Kusha's last question about compassion and bringing back a person who is maybe having some issues. My question is that from the story you gave about the Brahmana who took some opportunity, hide, and then participated in the kirtan. He took some risks to do that, and he was assisted by Srivas. Then we also saw that Shiva took some risks to participate in the Rasa Lila, Rasa some pastime, Rasa dance, something like that. He had to even assume the form of a gopi to be able to gain entrance. And Lord Krishna himself personally said we should take all risk for him. So these devotees, they took some special risks to participate in Krishna pastime or in devotional service. And we also saw that Haridas Thakur took so much risks to continue chanting the holy name, even though he was taken to 22 marketplaces. And he told them, even if you slice my body into pieces, each bit is chanting the holy name. There are devotees like that, different stories of devotees who took risk to engage in devotional service. And then in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami emphasized on enthusiasm, utsaha. So my question is, we have seen stories of these great personalities who take this kind of risk, who are very enthusiastic about devotional service. They are enthusiastic against all odds. They want to continue. So why am I not having this kind of enthusiasm? We are having lectures every day. Sometimes we hear from great personalities like the gurus, and we are so happy when we hear. That moment we are hearing, personally, I feel like I have been taken to a different environment. And in that time, I will be telling myself, from this moment, I will become a born again. I will become a better person. And so we saw that sometimes I don't take to full advantage of this kind of situation. So what is responsible and what is best to be done?
Thank you very much for your nice question. The first thing I would like to say as regards this question is that we have not had yet, Prabhu. We have not had. Maybe our intellect we entertained, but the heart did not listen, did not participate, didn't listen to the class. The day anyone will hear, that very day we will act on what we have been hearing. And when we start acting on what we are hearing, it will be purification that will take us to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. The day we will hear, that is the day we will act on what we have been hearing. What is happening is that we are simply entertaining our intellect, not the heart. That is the problem. And we are not getting that. And you see, not the enthusiasm is not there. Even though we have read it, we have even spoken about it on the lecture, and we are also hearing many times, but we are not experiencing some of us are not experiencing that enthusiasm. It is not coming from somebody. It is not coming from somebody. It is coming from so the day we will hear, that day we will practice what we are hearing. And when we start practicing, the result will start. That is sure. That is what Karabajan Muni said in 11th Canto Bhagavad. 11th Canto Bhagavad. Chapter 2, text 42. You can read it here. One of my favorites, because it has to do with 11:42. You can check it afterward. So that is the problem. The reason why that enthusiasm is not being felt to say. Even though we have enjoyed the class when the lecture was going on, it is because we are intellectually entertained, but the heart is still not engaged in it. That is what I can see to this. And you're asking what can be done. It is better that when we go to class, we should be in a class attentively. That is why when you see Lord Gita, Lord KRSNA asking Arjuna, did you hear me with an attentive mind? KRSNA did not say, did you hear me? I didn't say that in Lord Gita. He said, did you hear me with an attentive mind? And he gave the reason. KRSNA gave a reason. If you have had me with an attentive mind, certainly sure that the illusion would be gone. Illusion is gone. All the misguidings are gone. And you are now a different person that is ready to practice Krishna consciousness as you have had it with me. Krishna consciousness works. Does it make sense?
Yes, Gurudev, thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my network is poor. That's why my camera is off.
Yeah, okay, we understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Srimad Varaha Prabhu, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the nice exposition. It's just about the Lord Chaitanya not feeling rush in the kirtan. I heard once, or I read Srila Prabhupada's quotation saying that a sick person needs certain type of food and taste before you can enjoy the food.
Yes.
But somebody who is well, somebody is not enjoy any food if it's well. But a sick person, it needs certain type of food, certain type of taste before you can. So he was using that to say that if somebody, actually that was a response to a question when somebody asked Prabhupada, and what if we don't enjoy the kirtan? What we don't feel, the rush because the person was chanting or maybe something. So Srila Prabhupada said, if somebody is sick, a sick person will not enjoy different type of food. But when you are well, then you can. So I mean, using that example, I mean, we cannot say that Lord Chaitanya is sick. That's why he could not understand, he could not enjoy the rest. Lord Chaitanya's past, isn't it just one of his pastimes that we cannot just use to say that we also we need to enjoy the Kirtan Ras? Prabhupada's prescription is that whatever type of chanting is going on, you should be able to enjoy it. You should surrender to it, because the holy name of Krishna is purifying in whatever state that it is being recited or something. So this is just the clarification I want. Can we take Lord Chaitanya saying that he's not enjoying the Kirtan Ras to mean like we also may not enjoy Kirtan Ras? Isn't that just a pastime of Lord Chaitanya to be able to discover, because he knows that somebody is hiding there? But Srila Prabhupada actually said that we should enjoy Kirtan, but at our cost, and surrender ourselves to the Kirtan. So this is my question and comment.
Thank you for your nice comments. Yes, a sick person will not enjoy the palatable dish. For example, if you want to have acute malaria, even your favorite food is brought, you feel nauseatic. What is, take this away, take this away. You feel like throwing up. So similarly, some of us condition, so we are sick. So when if you give a stewed rice to a hog, if you give a stewed rice to a hog, you're not going to enjoy it. Yeah, it is not. But if you give a stew to a hog, yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, this is delicacy. I'm sorry, I'm eating that. Sorry. Yes. So a sick person will not enjoy this. But what does that mean? That means that for all of us for some of us who are not enjoying it, means we are sick. That is why we don't have the rasa in the Jap. And all of our chairs, they did mention that Rupa Goswami used the word jaundice. We have jaundice, therefore we don't enjoy the rasa in the name of the prema, in the name we chant. And we have not chanted Prem Nam yet because of the jaundice. But what is the medicine? Rupa Goswami said the medicine is the same thing. We should continue to chant and chant and chant and try to avoid offenses. Not just hanging there and thinking that everything is all right, with no problem, with time I'll be okay. No, we should try to make effort. That is why we have the 10 offenses to help us, to guide us so we can make effort to avoid offenses. And when we start making effort to avoid offenses, then the jaundice will be significantly removed. That we start feeling the rasa, the kirtan. And the Tyagi was asked to leave the place. Why? Because Chaitanya Prabhu said you don't have the qualification, not just by dry austerity that you get there. You need the blessing. And that's what makes him to get the blessing of Chaitanya Prabhu. That he was able to repent for what he did. He has association of Srivas, he has the blessing of Srivas. That association, that good fortune he had with the Srivas made him to get the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although the qualification was not there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embracing and all those misgivings disappeared. Then he entered into the rasa. So until their narratives are removed, do not enter into the rasa. The glimpse of it will be when their narratives are getting clear in Namabasa. When we get to Namabasa, we will be experiencing it. That is why, even though we have not gotten to that real state yet, but we are still chanting because the rasa is coming. It's coming gradually. It has not become fully manifested, but it's coming because we are constantly chanting and making effort to avoid offenses. The Lord is seeing our effort, so He's making the cleansing. So if we continue like this, we'll get there. It's not just because we should not just realize that we are going to get there. No, it will take us a long time. Back to what the say, one can chant Hare Krishna mantra once to get the prema, and one can chant it for a million lives and not get the prema. Why? Our fortune to have association with the pure devotee, and our fortune also to have the mind to repenting for our weaknesses. We are praying constantly. We are begging for forgiveness. We have the desire to push on, to tolerate everything and move on. With all these things, our child, they see, Krishna will see, the Holy Name also himself will see, and they will support us and we'll get there.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Maharaj. Well, Maharaj, if I may ask, I have a question from the text itself. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll put it up here. It's the text itself says, this is Yudhishthira speaking to Narada. You are like a captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. So when you were speaking, you mentioned about Narada, and you actually gave quite a number of examples of his disciples and how powerful they are, because it's a touchstone. But we also see that, especially in our conditional stage, trying to become devotees, even though we may have Narada, but we may not get to the other side. Even though Narada, the spiritual master, can, but because the spiritual master is not giving us devotional service through mukti, the spiritual master is trying to give us Krishna consciousness through sadhana. If the disciple, the devotee, is not performing sadhana, does that mean that even though, because that devotee has become in touch with the guru, he will get to the other side? I don't think so, but I want you to throw more light on it, that even though the spiritual master is potent, is capable of taking one to the other side, it also requires the disciple to do his part. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yes, it is not only the guru that should be bona fide. The disciples also should be bona fide. That's what we saw with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami. We saw that with Maitreya Muni, Vidura. We saw that the same situation with the Suvadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. We also saw it with Arjuna and Krishna. When Krishna was giving Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Dhira was there. It was not that Gita was given to Arjuna in the room. The Gita was not given, not even in the corner of where the camp of Arjuna. It was given in the middle of the armies. Arjuna is here, Dhira is here, and Krishna gave the Gita in that open. Why Dhira didn't hear it? It's all Arjuna had it. Why he didn't hear? Because of his malicious nature. Because his crookedness. Arjuna is able to hear because he's a devotee. He listened carefully to it and he got it. So if the guru is bona fide and the disciple is not bona fide, nothing will work. And if the disciple is bona fide and the guru is not bona fide, also nothing will work. Both of them has to be bona fide. Then there will be miracle. It's required. Both should be bona fide.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
When the Krishna Master gives us the bead, what is he giving along with the bead? The holy name of Krishna. So what is that? That's given Krishna. we have been given Krishna. How we handle that Krishna that is given to us, that is in our hands. How much do we understand what has been given to us? And how much are we keeping that? This in our hands. If you are very, very fortunate to listen very carefully, and whatever we are hearing, we put them into practice and constantly pray for mercy, pray for shelter, beg for forgiveness. If we maintain this attitude, and that is what the Solemn Baptism Maharaj did throughout the whole of his books, to groom our consciousness towards approaching Krishna consciousness. If you apply this sincerely, you will always see the tremendous changes in our lives. And we'll be taken to that side.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Maharaj. Kavikanapur Prabhu, you may unmute. Well, after your question, Mother Krishna Kumari, dear devotees, we have a special guest amongst us today. That is Mother Krishna Kumari. She is one of the children of Mother Krishna Nandini. Mata, we would like to hear something from you. We would like to hear you ask a question or give a comment or at least say something after Sri Krishna Kavikanapur Prabhu. Please go, Kavi.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the opportunity. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for giving us so much of your time. I know that your time is very valuable, but you are patiently giving us your association. We really appreciate that, Maharaj. My question is more of what Srimad Bharara Prabhu say about the sick. Immediately he mentioned that how a sick person cannot enjoy food, and only those who are healthy can enjoy. That brings my consciousness to understand to the level that I can relate with that, because I'm a sick person, so I cannot appreciate the holy name of Krishna. I'm very offensive. I'm an aparadi. So most of us, the condition so in this material world, we are sick like that. And temple is like the hospital where we are all getting treatment. So my question is, Maharaj, what is the role of the doctor in treating the different patients of the different kind of condition they have or sickness they have? Because everybody is not going to have the same situation. And unless we're able to understand this, I don't think that compassion will come so much in our heart to be able to bring more soul to Krishna. So that is my question, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I would like to say that in one of the prayers of Bhakti Krishna, we have our chariots as our mirror. This is what my understanding. We have our chariots as our mirrors, and that is why Rupa Goswami teachings are told we should follow their footsteps because our mirrors. So, Bhakti one of his prayers is saying, my dear Lord, how can I tell you my shameful life? My shameful life. Means what? I know that, yes, I know I have so many misgivings, but why should I be proud about that? I should be ashamed. We should be ashamed that this is my nature. And it is this mood that will help us to beg for forgiveness, to beg for mercy, to pray for help. But if I'm thinking, yeah, I'm a condition show, yes, and then what? I'm a condition show, yeah, the nature of conditions is what? I should be offensive. Yeah, I should not have church for the time. Yeah, I should not be respectful to sadhu. Yeah, I should be nonchalant about everything. If I don't tell my sister, that it's okay, Guru knows that I'm a condition show. What do you expect from a condition show? That is the nature of condition show. That is my situation. The Guru, you know very much, you know very well. You can give me permission to chant, to keep three principles instead of 4. And Guru, you know this condition show. The Prabhupada brought 64 to 16. You know this thing. This is Kali Yuga. So if we maintain this consciousness, it is not good. We will not get, we will not get the message. We will not get the message. We will not have the strength to practice. So we should not justify our weakness. Let us feel ashamed of our weakness. And with this mood, we pray for mercy. This is what I think, my own suggestion, that we should feel ashamed, not just looking about, you should be merciful, you should be merciful. We should show compassion. Yes, we should show compassion. We should show compassion. But we should do something with the compassion. If it's given to us, we should do something with the compassion. After all, we didn't ask our gurus to come and give us initiation, to come and give us Krishna. We don't know them before. They just came. Like Krishna mercy. It's not mercy that we're able to get them. This is mercy. One day, Lord Shiva was traveling with his wife, Parvati. They were traveling together. And they passed through a beggar who was hanging on the road begging. And Parvati saw that. So she called her husband, Prabhu, help this man. She will look at him and turn his face away. We know Lord Shiva is a very merciful kind person. Parashut Maharaj is compared to Lord Shiva, for he is magnanimous nature. Magnanimous nature, yes, magnanimous nature. But this magnanimous person, Ashutosh, he looked at the person and he turned his face away. They went on their journey. When they came back again, they saw the same man was still hanging there begging. And Parvati did the same thing. Prabhu, please help this man. Lord Shiva stretched his hand to him. And when he opened his hand, Lord Shiva dropped something inside. He don't look at it. What is this? What is this? He gave it to somebody else, and that person became a billionaire. And he remained a beggar, still hanging there on the road, begging. So is Shiva compassionate or uncompassionate? Does compassion work here? That compassion does still work. We cannot get mercy without efforts. There is a saying that if someone gives you food, you don't expect the students to come and put the food in the mouth. Now we should eat the food. We should try and eat the food. Even if you don't have the same, we should beg. I don't have strength to eat, but help your strength. We should make some effort. With that effort will help us to appreciate what is given. Without appreciation for what we have been given. But Krishna can come and sleep with us in the house. We'll turn our back against him. All right, I think we have to stop here and say Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Krishna Kumari Devi, do you have something to say? Please say something.
First, I would like to say Vanchakalpa to Rubiyascha, Kripa Sindhu, Via Ebacha, Patita Nam Pavanavyo, Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jai to all the Vaishnavas on this call and in the world. Yeah, I didn't plan on saying anything. I was just happy to participate. But I did have a thought, and I was thinking about Kirtan Ras and the fact that the Lord has been very merciful upon me that I was able to be in the presence of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami. And when that description was taking place, I remember being in a kirtan in New Vrindavan with him and feeling this complete and utter ecstasy and connection to Krishna in that moment and the holy names. And just like, wow, I'm getting a chill as I'm thinking about it because I still remember that time. And knowing that there was never a time that I needed to have a material high, because this was the highest high and the highest connection. And it's informed the choices that I made over time in my devotional service, because there have been hardships in life. But we're learning and continuing to try to respect and honor devotees on the path, no matter what it feels like when you encounter them, is a gift. And that is something that I'm learning to channel. Sometimes, like I've been listening to the forgiveness seminar by Bhakti Swami. And what I came to understand is that there were times where in certain instances that you may have to take distance from devotees at times, specific personalities that just don't vibe with in a way. And that was helpful to hear because it was like, always maintain the respect and appreciate the value of the association. But always keep in mind what your ultimate goal is to help each other get back home, back to Godhead. And so that's what I was getting out of when I was hearing this and feeling so much gratitude for being a part of this amazing opportunity to go back home.
Thank you very much. So sweet. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We're happy to hear your voice and your wisdom. You know, I'm fortunate to be a friend to you on Facebook, and I truly enjoy every time you post whatever. And like that's what we read, and Maharaj was saying, Narada Muni's disciples, you can see the caliber of devotees they are, and we can see who you are simply because of who your mom is. So thank you. Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, again, thank you so much for being here and spending this much time with us. And I always pray. I don't usually pray, but when I do pray, I pray that whatever little I have heard in Krishna consciousness, may Guru and Krishna devotees bless me, guide me so that I put them into practice. To me, that's one of the most important things. We know much, and the much we know, if we put them into practice, I think we'll find Vaikuntha even right here. So today we pray, we beg you, Maharaj, bless us so that we can at least attempt to put into practice what you've shared with us today. So at this point, we're going to ask all the devotees to kindly please unmute, and then we turn to beg Hare Krishna to express
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
All glories to His Cathedral Damodara Maharaj ki.
Rama Hare Hare. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sati Mataji, please, Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you.
Nice to see all of you. I missed all of you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, you can miss us, but you should remain where you are.
We all miss you too.
Thank